ደግፈው ያንዳንዳችን ጌታ አባቱ በእውነት ሰምተን ዝም ብለን ተማምቀን አንድ ቦታ የምንቀመጥበት ሳይሆን ጌታ በሰማነው መኖር የምንችልበት ለብዙዎችን ቅዱስን ቃል የምናስተላልፍበት ጸጋና ኃይል በረከት ይለቀቀልን ጌታ አባቱ አሁን ደግሞ በአንድም በሌላ መልክ ስጋችን ቃል በስም ስልጣን እንቅስቃሴው የታሰረ ይሁን በኢየሱስ ተልኮ ሁሉ የፈረሰ ይሁን ምንጩና ጣባው ለዘላለም እየደረቀ ይሁን ጌታ አባቱ የፈጸመ አርነት አንተ አውጣ
Ethiopia is known as a Christian island. In the city, it's not really that bad. But in the countryside, especially where the Orthodox is very prominent, they won't really allow any evangelicals, to preach the gospel and plant churches. Christians are really suffering, to some extent, in preaching the gospel.
Incredible to me to see IOI operate through indigenous pastors because I may live the rest of my days here. I may learn the language. I may know the culture better, the history better than any Ethiopian, but at the end of the day, I'm still an outsider. Comes to the practical outworking of the ministry, it needs to be done through the local people. So many times we sidestep these people and rob them of their gifts when we don't recognize this man has a gift of preaching. And he's already doing the work. He's already preaching, but he's got 3 kids and he's working a full-time job and trying to preach on the side. Give the brother money to where he can just continue doing what he's already doing, to where he doesn't have to spend so much time working, where he can spend his time ministering the gospel that God has called him to. And we see how rich we are in resources. I mean, we give them $50 a month, and that gives them everything they need. And how many people can we support?
The IOI idea and vision was just to reach the unreached people with the gospel, and at the same time support and help evangelists, who are doing the job but do not have any income, from this church. Many of these evangelists, they had no income before. Even they hardly eat 3 times a day. But they have their meals, They pay their rent on time. They have enough clothes, that they wear. Their wives and the children, and they send their kids to school. So I can say they are not really worried anymore about what they're really eating. God is really providing them.
I love the slower paced lifestyle in America. We get so busy in one thing after the next, after the next, after the next, and there's really not as much time for fellowship as we would often like. Oftentimes we come to church and we long to fellowship with each other and say, we need to get together, and then it just kind of gets lost. But here, just everything is so much slower. You don't have to call. You just go over to a person's house, and they're very hospitable. They give you what they have, though they may not have much. I've fallen in love with the people. I'm not rich in America, but here I'm incredibly wealthy. And yet they won't even let me pay for a taxi ride. They won't let me compensate them for what they've, for all the money they've spent feeding me. They don't want me to pay for anything. They won't let me carry anything if we walk anywhere. They want to serve me in any way possible. When you come in contact with people who live in the reality of Christ and who He is and what He's called us to be to each other, there's no way that you're not infected by this spirit that dwells within this person. Just their smiles, you see the joy of Christ in their eyes, the way that they greet you. It's a tremendous blessing.
This ministry, IOI, we don't really ask people just to support us in money, just to make a visit, just to send people and come and see what the Lord is really doing, and then just take part in that. Could be in prayer, could be financial, could be giving training, it could be donating, clothes or anything, So we just ask, those who really interested, to help IOI. The first thing is just to pray from their heart.
My passionate plea would be, don't give any money. Don't give a dime. Seek God's face of what your involvement should be. And there is such an involvement as to just pray, to just commit to pray. Is there money needed? Yes, there is. Can I think of 1,000 things right now, that I could do with my own two hands if I only had the money for the materials to do it with? Yes, I can. I think the gospel ministry has been hindered in many areas of the world because we've thrown money at problems, and that's not what we need. We need the hand of God to move. So pray for us. Lift us up to God the Father. And if God gives you a passion for Ethiopia, then see what that purpose is.
It's just a beginning, I personally cannot say we have really done a whole lot. This is just, a beginning, So we're hoping, in fact, with the coming new generation, that we can evangelize these lost people in Ethiopia. To do this, now we all have to work together, loving, respecting, above all, and surrendering our life to the Lord.